Good morning, manager. Accessing today's abnormalities log entry. Abnormality log found. T-01-54 Forsaken Murderer Class, Teth.
An abnormality whose brain is imbued with rage, screams, and malicious cries. There is a wound on his forehead that never seems to heal. He hates everyone and everything. He wears a straitjacket, but is as free as any man. No amount of chains and restraints is enough to prevent him from committing violence. He always had to wear a straitjacket. Some say he was a death row inmate from a federal prison. The researchers were always cautious around him. They felt the straitjacket couldn't contain him. The researchers wanted to study a murderer's brain to prove that innate evil existed. It was difficult to determine who was worse: a man who murdered the innocent with no remorse, or the researchers who wanted to open up his brain to satiate their curiosity. A wide range of medicine and chemicals were injected into him. They said they found a cure, but they never said what was cured. The prisoner spoke less and less. His aggressiveness was suppressed, but at the same time, he lost himself. After an extensive review, he was permitted to have the straitjacket removed.
It feels like my head is turning into metal. I sometimes hear metallic creaks in my head.
As the days passed by, he began to inflict self-harm. He would continuously hit his head on the wall or hard surfaces. He insisted on checking if his head really was turning into metal. One day, they eventually decided to leave him with the hope that he would stop once he was wounded. However, even with the blood pouring down his face, he wouldn't stop until his wound was so deep the whites of his skull were peeking through. He had to wear the straitjacket again. But he was no longer feared or monitored like before. A researcher was found dead within the facility. It would have been difficult to identify him without his ID, as his head was violently crushed in. Lax security meant the door was often left unlocked or unattended to. The prisoner that everyone believed to be confined was moving around on his knees.
My head, turning into metal, holds into my brain, being flattened.
He kept repeating strange words, and the final procedure was finally put in place. Treatment was halted, and he was dissected so his brain could be used for research. How do I know? I sedated him myself. He kept muttering nonsense until the end.
Ends, begins, ends, begins, and...
As to where he was found and how he got into the facility is unknown.
End of log. Good luck on today's work, manager. Face the fear, build the future.